Alright, welcome to a very special episode of Kicking and Screaming and SailorFanTalk. I know that might confuse you, but trust me, as the episode wears on, you'll realize why I said both. We don't usually do such long form videos, but we just felt that, this Lion City Sailors' amazing run in the ACL2 deserves a full episode discussing it, even though, of course, the Sailors did lose in the final. So in our studio, we have a very special guest, Nigel Goh, first team football performance analyst from the Lion City Sailors, to talk us through some of the major highlights and tactical insights that he has from our ACL2 run. Nigel, big welcome to the show.
Thank you, Eddie. I have been a big fan of what you do and the podcast, and I thought it was always a great platform to showcase what we do behind the scenes, and I think a lot of fans will be interested to find out how we achieve such success in our campaign.
You're too kind. I think the genesis of this show came about when we were having a few drinks after a game. So we decided that actually, LCS has achieved so much this year, and I think the fans also want to know, in any other country, if there was such a run, there would be a long show from ESPN or Star Sports to dissect each and every match. But unfortunately, we don't have that in Singapore. So here we are trying our best. Of course, technologically, we can't match up, but we'll try our best, okay? So Nigel, let's dive right into it, Let's start where it all began. Take your mind back to September 2024. It almost seems like a lifetime, a generation away. But actually, it's less than a year away, yeah?
Yeah.
At home, Jalan Besar, Zhejiang, Chinese League. Crucial start was going to be very, very vital if we were to get out of this group. It's not an easy group. Not the hardest, I would say, but not the easiest as well. Realistically, did you see the win coming?
Well, I'll be frank. I would like to treat this as a chat between fans. I spoke to my friend and I said wow, this is a very tough group. Same with Shopee Cup, it was a very tough group. I when I saw the draw, I was not the most confident fan. We have been through a few campaigns in the past where it was not easy. Well, in the past we didn't progress out of the group. So those normally you look at history, performance to see how you will do. And we just took it one game at a time, as our coach mentioned. Yeah. So we, of course, don't set up to lose. We always set up to try to win. We don't set up to play for a draw. But we prepared comprehensively for this game, as I will hopefully get to show you. And thankfully, we got a good result.
Yeah, no, so it's a very, very interesting game. What I felt as a fan, maybe I can share with you first, and then later you can use some of your slides to take us through, right? What I felt as a fan is that we controlled the game. I didn't feel that Zhejiang had that many chances to really kill us. I mean, the away leg was different, but in the home leg at least, I didn't feel that attacking-wise they created too many chances. Is that an assessment you would agree with?
Well, I feel like every team we play against, realistically, every team that we play against outside of Singapore is going to be pretty strong.
Yes.
Even KL in the Shopee Cup, they played quite good. So I felt like Zhejiang did have quite a lot of penetrating chances. They controlled a lot of possession because that is what we know they like to do. And certainly they created a lot of threat against us. But as you saw in many games, we had much less possession, but we still managed to score with lesser shots on target and all that. So that's all part of the game plan that we worked on. So for us, we are quite pragmatic and quite realistic. Not every game we're going to control so much of the ball. And that's often when you play top level opposition in the continental competitions. So you have to come up with a plan that is adapted to the competition and also adapted to your playing style and the qualities that you have from the team.
Yeah, so in this case, right, what are the weaknesses that you pinpointed in the Zhejiang side that you hoped that if all goes to plan, right, our sailors could capitalize?
Great question. So firstly, I would like to point out before I dive into some analysis, I'm sure the fans, including you, will know that they had a few suspended players. Remember, they had a fracas post-match or during the match against, if I'm not wrong, Buriram.
Yes.
And they had 4 key players suspended. Maybe not all 4 are key, but at least one would be Leonardo, their top Brazilian striker who has since moved on to greener pastures. And I think he was the top scorer in the Chinese Super League in the previous season. So that suspended player certainly helped us a lot. I think suspension is one running theme throughout the past campaign. But of course, those are the rules. We play by the rules, and I think every team should play by the rules.
Yeah.
So I'd like to show something that I've shown many, not many people, but basically this is what we saw in when we analyzed Zhejiang before the game.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, you can see for yourself, they can have a lot of possession, a lot of dribbles. We saw Kouassi, the two wingers that they had are very strong. A lot of movement in the box, a lot of through passes. So
these are the rankings in the league, right? In their league.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What you are looking at is the Y-Scout report of all the Chinese Super League teams, and we can see Zhejiang ranked very high for attacking metrics. What's the purpose of opposition analysis? Is to know your opponent, what are their strengths and weaknesses, so that you are prepared, so that the players, when they go on the pitch, they know what to expect, and they are not flawed like, oh no, I am not ready for this at all.
Okay, so in this case, right, all these seem to me, at least, I mean, at first blush, of course, these are all good things about Zhejiang, right? But then on the flip side, you are obviously looking at pain points for them as well. And I know this because I wrote the article, right? They came into this on horrible form and they let in a lot of goals.
Yes.
Is that something that you all picked up on as well?
Yes, certainly. So, okay, attacking wise, we know they are a very strong team with a strong Spanish coach who likes to play attacking football. What about defensive statistics? If you look at this slide alone, you will be able to see they suffer a lot in duels.
Wow.
And for me, football is 11 versus 11. Both teams have the same number of players and there's one ball. It's all about your duels, your 50-50, your second balls. Are you able to win those duels?
Yeah.
If you cannot win those duels, then your opponent has the advantage. It's just like martial arts or judo.
Yeah.
So for me, it's the same. They don't seem to win their duels, and that already calls out an opportunity for our team. Hopefully, we can take advantage of this. You mentioned goals, and we can see here, this was the table in the Chinese Super League at that point in time, and we can see very quickly
it's an alarming number of goals conceded. 50 goals.
50 goals conceded is an alarming number when they have played 25 games, which means 2 goals every game. And what's more alarming is I saw that they conceded a lot more goals than the bottom few teams. So this, as an analyst, you don't have to be an analyst at all. I mean, if you're a fan, I think this already points out something to you. Defensively, perhaps not the strongest team. So there's some opportunity for our team right there. So naturally, I will look at how they concede the goals, which brings me to this slide. So these are all things that you can get from Y-Scout, which we use extensively for opposition analysis.
Yep.
And straight away you can download the report and see that they concede a lot from counter-attacks or defensive transitions.
Yeah.
Which also happens to be our strength on the counter-attack.
Yeah, no, that's very interesting. So obviously, as a regular fan like you, like not you and I, but like myself, right? If we don't have access to Y-Scout, I guess you look for some free resources online. But if there isn't, then no choice. You just have to pick out maybe 5 or 6 games.
Yes.
If we want to try our best to analyze the team, watch 5 or 6 full games, and you might see some patterns, lah. Is that the way for an average fan?
Exactly. In fact, if you were to ask me one advice to give a fan or a new analyst, how should you analyze the game? I'll say very easy. Just look at the past, all the goals that your team has conceded or scored, and do an analysis of it. You can just count, is it from set piece? Is it from long shots?
Keeper blunder?
Is it from mistakes or whatever? And put it in a pie chart, a bar chart or whatever, and you share it online. I guarantee you there will be a lot of interest in that. Don't think like a lot of teams or analysts even do that for their own teams.
Okay, that's something for Chin Heng to look into. Chin Heng, I mean, you're watching us record, but there's something that we can explore, the two of us, in the off season. Maybe we can look at the kind of goals that Tampines concede versus the kind of goals that Sailors concede and see what's the differences. Okay, so Zhejiang, obviously now you've pointed out that they concede a lot of goals, and you've said that this chart here shows that they concede a lot of goals in the counter attacks. Right? So I'm assuming from that chart, right, if you see green, that means that Shanghai Shenhua, top of the pile, right? It means that in counter attacks, Shanghai Shenhua scores a lot of goals. Or rather, they score more than they concede on counter attacks. Is that what it means?
Okay, that's a great question, Eddie.
Yeah.
I understand that this chart can be a bit confusing, and the beginning was for me as well. So this one is talking about goals conceded only. not about goals scored at all.
Okay.
So ideally, if as a team you don't want to concede goals in such situations, so it's a big green bar over here. And it
big
says
green means zero.
zero.
Right.
So they didn't concede any from counter attacks, which is where you want to be as a strong team. So that's great and all. But if you have something red, like this team,
It means that you're the lowest performers in the league.
yeah, like
in that metric lah.
Shandong, like well, let's see, Shenzhen and Zhejiang, of course, they are not doing so well in the aspect of their game.
Wow.
So these are areas of improvement you can pick out for your own team as well. Yeah.
Okay. So it's very interesting. Can I ask, like Meijo Haka, for example, you see there that it says long shots, right? 12 goals. What does that tell you? Does that tell you that the defense is not applying enough pressure? Does that tell you that the keeper sucks or something?
Well, that's a good question. When you talk about long shots, usually where are they from? They are from outside the box.
Yes.
Maybe you think of those golazo, those 30-meter screamers and all that.
Yes.
So Meizo Haka, I don't watch their game, but I saw from the table they are quite bottom field ranking.
Yes.
And teams in such position, what do they tend to do when they play very strong
Sit
teams?
back.
They tend to sit back in a very low block, maybe a back five. So
Yes.
the trap when you sit back too much, you go all into your box, you retreat into your shell, is you give the opponent a lot of space. Of course, it's very hard to break down a low block. Even Manchester City struggle against teams that sit back. But there are always the long shots that teams can use to take advantage of.
As Persib used against us. Crap.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to bring back that memory. It was horrible.
We're going to have to talk about that game later anyway. So.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
but long shots, yes.
Okay, so for Zhejiang, obviously, I'm guessing from all the stats that you have shown us, the plan was obviously tell the team to be patient, wait for a chance, but when you go on the counter, you have to really commit. Is that it? Or was there more to it?
Yes, so that's a great point. Like often teams say it's very easy to play counter-attack football. You just sit back, wait for your chance, and then when you get the
Yes,
ball,
that's a layman view, my view, yes.
yeah, that's probably like the fans' view. Of course, it looks simple, but we try to identify some characteristics of the teams, which I'll show you in a video later, that shows us we can take advantage of this. And these characteristics you can find in different teams, not just Zhejiang. You can find in Hiroshima as well. Every team has its weaknesses. And when you see the video, it will be very clear for you.
Okay, come, then let's watch the video, man.
So what you are looking at is a clip from Zhejiang versus Shanghai Shenhua in their Chinese Super League.
Yeah.
And very quickly, you can see almost the whole Zhejiang team is in the opponent half of Shanghai.
Okay.
So now they are trying to attack. They love to
trying
play
to-
football.
Oh.
They lose the ball, and what happened? You can straight away see the rest defense. They stand with two center backs, and this is not great from a rest defense perspective. So rest defense, I believe, is gonna be quite a new term for a lot of our fans out there.
Yeah.
Basically, what it means is how does your defense look like when you have the ball? What if you lose the ball? Are you ready to counter press to win the ball back? Are you ready to defend on the transitions? And usually when we see teams that stand with two at the back, that's not a very good rest defense, because you can see here already Shanghai have a 2v2. And I'm sure you will fancy your chances in a 2v2 if
Yes.
you have top players like Maxim, like Bud, like Leonard or Shawam. I
Yes.
think they are capable to beat many teams.
Yes.
So let's let the video play. You can see very quickly you make a run, you have a 3v2, you keep running, there's a lot of space, boom, it's a goal. So we saw that clip many times across the league, and that's why we point out that pattern to the team. And we prepared for that, of course, extensively. And you can see at Jalan Besar, there's a very similar scenario where the whole Zhejiang team is in our half. They have a free kick. They kick the ball straight at our goalkeeper, who we know has great distribution abilities.
So immediately you see two people running off already.
Immediately, that's right, Eddie. Immediately you can see Maxim running, Leonard, and then Bart joins in as well. It's a good cross. We did not manage to score, but in two passes you see we are in the opponent's final third.
Yes.
And they are start to sit very deep and no pressure.
And Harris.
Bam, a great long shot from our Kepi Harris. So just one more clip. In the second half, well, you see Zhejiang try to improve their rest defense. Perhaps that's something they address at halftime.
Yeah.
And but you can see our favorite player here with the long hair. He lost the ball.
Li Tixiang.
And there was zero counter press from them. They did not try to win back the ball. Well, that one player tried, but as we know, they are quite lacking in the duels. But won that duel. This was, of course, something we already anticipated. And you may say that's a great goal from Maxime. How often can we repeat that? But the whole point is to get the ball to your best players in the final third so they can show you their magic. And that's how the win happened.
Oh, interesting. Is there anything else you need to add about this game itself?
This game, well, we had the 1-0, we had the 2-0, and after that, naturally, when you have a lead in such a big game, you try to defend the lead, and thankfully, we managed to do that.
Can I ask you, right, from an analysis point of view, right? So you've picked out trends. Everything I see now is on the pitch. So, like, for example, when they're defending, where do they stand? When they attack, do they like to dribble? All these are things that you pick out for the team. Does an analyst job also contain picking out mental attributes, or as far as you can try to extrapolate from data? For example, I'll give you an example, just hypothetically. If this team regularly loses 2-goal leads or 1-goal leads, is that something you will pick up and tell your team?
Yes, certainly. I mean, well, analysts, a lot of people ask what do analysts do. You know, you scout the opponent, you scout this player, find good players, all that. I can talk a lot about what analysts do, but for me, it's like you said, doing anything and everything. I like to say this, doing anything and everything to try to get an advantage for your team.
Yeah.
If you need to go down to try to find out
their training sessions,
why not? I mean, like, there's a lot.
Okay, you know Bishan Stadium, right, has that condo looking over it, right?
Yes.
So assuming, okay, do you guys work on the assumption that when you train at Bishan, right, that our opponents are scouting us?
That's a great question. So
because it should be quite easy for them to get a camera into some HDB and to look at our training.
That's a great question. I really appreciate that question. Like in Singapore, of course, you know, everything is open space. Stadiums, you can be training and then you have a jogger running by on the Bishan track.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's a unique aspect of Singapore for our overseas viewers. But talking about overseas, so of course when we go on overseas away trips, we have to train at the overseas training facilities and training ground. So same like in Singapore, people are watching you. You have to work under the assumption people are watching you. For example, we play semi-finals, we play quarterfinals overseas. These are big games.
Yes.
You have to work under the assumption that somebody is watching you to try to get that advantage. Maybe in Singapore we are very sporting, we are very courteous and gracious, but in overseas in football, it's a different ball game. You know, people will do anything to try to get that advantage.
Cool, that's very interesting. All right, so thank you so much for leading us through a very detailed review of using stats and how we approach the Zhejiang game. So I'm sure that I think if we went into that much detail for every game, we will never leave here. So there are some games that I'll just go through very quickly. So Persib versus LCS was the next game, and I think for a lot of fans, we felt this was a potential stumbling block also. We anticipated a full stadium. Of course, that didn't happen in the end. It wasn't a full stadium, but it was still a tough game. So Bailey Wright came in with a header to equalise, and then after that, what we felt was a turning point. There's a red card for Persib in the 51st minute. Now, of course, Bar Remzala then got sent off in injury time, which actually makes the next few games a bit harder. But for now, in this game, Persib versus LCS, how does an analyst role? I mean, do you go to the amount of detail that analysts also have to pick out trends of what teams do when they are red carded?
Yes, certainly, because analysts, you're expected to be very meticulous and detail-oriented. So if anybody is looking for to be an analyst, it's not all fun and games. You have to be very detail-oriented. And you have to know the team makes a substitution. What are the first substitutions that they make? Do they change the game plan? Who's going to slot in at right back? Do they move from a back 3 to back 4 or something like that? You have to be ready for every scenario. And because that's all what analysis is about, being prepared for every scenario. So let's talk about this game.
The red card game, yeah.
The red card. So naturally when you have 1-0, 1-1 or something, and the opponent has a red card, you want to go for the win.
Yes.
Right? One extra man advantage is a big advantage. I don't have the stats on like how much advantage you have with the extra man, but basically, imagine in the box you have a 5v4, you have a 3v2, you have a 2v1, you have played street soccer, you have a 2v1,
and that's not to mention the tiredness also of the remaining 10 players because they have to cover.
Yes, exactly. So it's give us a bit of advantage, and you can see we did try to go for the win because we felt it was there for the taking. But not everything in football goes your way, as you saw at the end of the game. So, okay, we did not get the 3 points, but we got a point, and we'll take it. And take it, we did.
Yeah, so obviously that was a worrying part because not only did we not get the goal, we also got Bart Ramzala sent off, and he's obviously one of our key players.
Yeah, right? I mean, I personally did not really agree, but well, we can talk a lot about that another time.
Okay, then came the very crucial games. I think Port versus LCS. Now that was also a game that I think a lot of fans back home felt that they look a bit better than us. And I think part of it is because we tend to rate the Thai league very highly, right? And this team was at the time I think second in the league, and against Buriram, I guess second is as good as you're one of the top teams already, correct? So, what was the preparation like going in against Port? And honestly, did you feel like we were going to come out of an away game with 3 points?
Well, away game, home game, big games, or league game. We go into every game with the objective to win the game, to get 3 points. I think this is a good mentality that we have, and as a club, we want to achieve big things. We have big ambitions, and this is the mentality we need to adopt to win every game. So whether it's a strong team, whether it's a top team in Southeast Asia or whatever. So this game, we did the same preparation. Honestly, every game we try to prepare extensively. And we identified some characteristics of Port that we could take advantage of or try to take advantage of. We tweak a bit of our game to try to take advantage of that. And I think Super Shawa, he scored like 2 very early goals.
Yep.
And I tell you, we were ecstatic. And one thing to point out, this was a rescheduled game. Am I right?
Yes, the fans were. I mean, Chining was there as well, I think. He was there the first time round where they were waiting in the rain, and then Ama also got soaked, and then after that, game cancelled.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a great feeling when you travel to another country and the game is postponed, and then you have to travel back.
Yes.
So for fans, maybe it's like another holiday or something. I don't know. But for the club, it's a lot of things that goes behind the scenes. You have to prepare again for again. But, well, I guess it was good because we got a good result in the end. And to have early goals, especially 2 early goals, it's wow. I cannot explain like how helpful it is. It gives you a lot of confidence. Even though they put one back, we managed to get another goal from Song.
The deflected shot. Yeah.
So it was a great game. I can show you some video if you like.
Sure. I mean, we don't mind chatting.
This is Port versus Zhejiang, I believe. You can see they have a back 4 defense here.
Yes.
And Zhejiang has the ball. Zhejiang is trying to build up. As usual, they love to have the ball. And what did I say here? The defender, center back, Isaac Horney, I believe.
Yes.
He jumps out. So jumps, that means like you go out, right? In analysis terms. He go out and he follow his man. He's trying to take this man, even though he's very far away from his goal. And then you have, I think, Supanat.
I can't remember.
I cannot remember. He has a man here, the dangerous winger, but he also goes out to tries to press this guy.
Now you see Honey running back now.
Exactly. But now he's reacting. He's running back because now Zhejiang has played the ball out and maybe they're going to progress here. So he's trying to get back now. But these are characteristics we try to identify when we analyze the opponent.
Because it's a player's style, right? Either that or his tactics.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. It's a player style, it's tactics, or whatever you call it.
But if you keep seeing it, it actually doesn't matter whether it's his style or it's the tactics, but you just know it's happening.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's right. You can make a great analyst. Yeah. Nothing happened here. Did Zhejiang score? No. But you already see.
So that's very interesting. So even as an analyst, right, even though that looks like a nothing situation, you have to keep thinking like, what does this 20 seconds tell me?
Correct.
And if it's nothing, then you can go, okay, this 20 seconds really tells me nothing, move on.
Yes.
That sounds like a lot of hard work, actually.
Yes, it is. It is indeed. In fact, so I may share like what we do is try to look at the past few games of the opponent, home, away, whatever in the league or whatever competition. We try to see patterns that are repeatable, identifiable across the games, and you are sure it's a pattern. Then you show your coach and you try to come out with some tactic. Yeah. So over here, this was our game. You can see we're pressing very high. Balls goes to Supanat. He gives the ball away. If a defender you think that is not very good on the ball, if you press him, he'll give away the ball. That's an insight as well.
Yep.
Because then you will want to press that defender, right?
To force a back clearance or something lah.
Which is literally what happened here. We won the ball. Well, I think Lionel right here, Bailey clears the ball. And we see Isaac doing the same thing that we identified against Zhejiang. You can see he's trying to go for it with Leonard.
Yes.
And that opens up space behind for Shawal to go, to exploit. And was terrific goal.
Terrific finish, yes.
Terrific goal. In the next clip, you will see exactly the same thing. We see Isaac following Leonard.
Okay.
And,
so far still okay, right?
So far still okay, nothing's happening. But ball comes to Maxime. Something's going to happen always. Now you see Isaac, or this defender, is pretty far away from his right
centre-back partner.
Yeah, and I mean, if you play 11 aside or what, if you're going to be very far away from a defender, it's going to be a long day on the field. And then this creates a space for Shawar to run in. And run in he did. It was a very good chance. Okay, we didn't score, but we managed to get into their box. We managed to penetrate their box, which is what we're trying to do. Yep. And then you create a chance and you take a chance. You score a great goal from Song.
Interesting. So that was one of the things you picked out for this port game, and we won 3-1 in the end.
Yes.
Was there anything else you picked out? Because I remember as well that Noboru Shimura, I think that's his name, the Japanese midfielder come defender, he scored from a set piece, and I think he had a knack of scoring from set pieces. Was this something that you all can necessarily prepare for if a player is just very good at attacking set pieces?
Well, that's a good point. Set pieces are a big part of today's game.
Yes.
If I'm not wrong, there's at least 30 or 35% of goals are scored from set pieces. And that's why you have set piece coaches today, like Nicholas Jover on the sideline. Yeah, they're doing very good. I mean, Hiroshima also, they adopt a tactic like Arsenal. Many people behind. Not sure if you've noticed. Very interesting how teams take advantage of set pieces today. Certainly, we analyze every aspect of the game, set pieces. If we know that there's a player who's very good from set pieces, like Gabriel from Arsenal, you certainly need to put like
one of your strongest persons,
strong physical player on him to mark him. So you can do man marking, or you can do zoner, which means that you just cover the space, maybe at the near post. Usually teams try to do a mix of man marking and zoner marking. We prepare on the training ground to defend set pieces, and in the game you cannot predict what's going to happen.
Yeah. Alright, so Port, we came away with a very satisfying and very, very crucial 3-1 win. I think once Song's deflected shot went in, actually I felt that it took a bit of the confidence out of Port already, and their attacks became less and less influential. Now, we move on to the next game, and this is obviously the Heartbreak game, right? 7 November 2024, LCS versus Persib. Everything looked like I was going to plan. In fact, at halftime, I said to my friend, hey, how poor is Persib? Like, why are they so poor? This was, of course, before their late comeback with 3 goals. So, maybe you can talk us through that game, as in from an analyst point of view, what do you think happened?
Well, from an analyst point of view, I think...
first, a great goal, right? From Shawar, I think.
Was very good goal.
Maxime Lestienne, deep ball, right?
Yeah, we have done that so many
times. In this campaign as well, that has happened. Yeah. So, Shawar scores, then after that, we get one more from Maxime and the header. That never happens, right? But then...
Yeah.
What was okay, maybe talk about the good part first. How do you feel that we went up 2-0, and how did our analysis help us in that regard?
Well, the analysis, I would say, like, we score a lot of goals from Sharjah because characteristic of Sharjah is he runs a lot.
Very well. Yes.
Yeah, he's always running behind, and we have great players like Maxim, like Bud, who are able to deliver those great balls for him. And I don't know how Sharjah runs so fast, but
At his age, somehow.
I think he can outrun any player in a sprint, as we saw against Tottenham as well. Even World Cup winning defenders like Christian Romero. So I think we just try to play our game every game. We are confident in our abilities. We are confident in our players that we can pose a threat to any team, as we already saw in the past campaign. We work on set pieces as well, not just defensive but attacking as well. Kick off, throw in, short throw in. I tell you, we try to take every advantage, every weapon in our arsenal to get a good result. And it has worked out really well for us in this past campaign. Well, what happened in the last 10 or 15 minutes, I cannot explain. It could be supernatural or whatever.
Supernatural.
I don't know. In this part of the world, anything happens. But I don't think I have the memory anymore. I pretty much erased it from my memory.
Hey, but as an analyst, you're not supposed to do that. Right? You're not supposed to erase from your memory.
Yeah. But
I mean, if I could try to recall the 3 goals, right? Actually, one was a long shot. The equalizer was a long shot.
Yeah.
In fact, I think few people remember this because, as you mentioned, a lot of people try to erase from memory. But the first goal was also from a long shot. The long shot hit the crossbar, and then I think I can't remember the striker's name, David. I think David Da Costa or something. He headed it down, and then there was a mix-up between Dakovic and Izwan. Yeah, I think in saving that, and that would happen again in the final. I think a bit unfortunately, but
I think that you have very good memory, Eddie. Unfortunately, but anyway, well, you look at the game, right? You look at the stats. Not you don't have to look at the stats, but we were 2-0 up, like you mentioned.
Correct.
2-0 is a very scary scoreline right now. But naturally, when you have a lead in a game, any game, especially a big game, you want to defend the lead.
Yes.
So you may call it psychologically or whatever you call it, but you want to defend the lead. You want to hold on the lead. It's not necessarily like tactics or analysis. I would say it's more mental and more psychological. Like, you have something in your pocket already. I want to hold on to it, So for me personally, not just LCS or for me any team, like you feel like maybe I don't have to attack so much anymore. I already have a lead. Why should I go for the next few goals? Some fans may disagree, and that's fine. But then when you think you don't have to attack anymore, and you try to defend your lead, and then you try to defend,
and you get
then the opponent
deeper.
Correct. The opponent has more of the ball, and you start to get deeper and deeper, and you try to defend maybe in your box. And as we saw, when you defend very deep, the opponent can take long shots. And even though the XG of a long shot is quite low, but if you give them so much space, they're going to take a long shot. Eventually, one does hit the post or one does go in.
In this game as well, I think, and once again, I'm going to make the fans remember bad things, but there was also a disallowed goal. I think right before they equalized, there was a goal that was disallowed for a push on Hafiz Noor. So this happened, and a lot of times laymen they will say, hey, why didn't the team hit that warning? That's like a warning, because actually the disallowed goal was pretty soft. It's a very light push on Hafiz Noor. Now, from a club's perspective, right, would you say that players, given their experience, like Haris, like Dakovic and all that, do you think they should have been able to deal better mentally, having been served a warning sign? Or do you think that's harsh?
Well, I'll say that's harsh. That's very harsh, because the players are very experienced.
Yes.
You talk about these players, they have played like so many games throughout their career, and they know better than me or you, like, or how to react to such situations. And I don't blame them. We don't talk about blame like when it comes to analysis. we try to just focus on like areas of improvement. When the opponent score a long shot, how can we prevent such scenarios from happening in the future? Perhaps don't even let them shoot the long shot. Maybe don't be so deep. And those are things that we did worked on. And then if they take a long shot, okay, then we have to react quickly to the second ball. Yeah.
So the process might be an analyst picks up that, okay, why we lost that game was maybe we were a bit too deep. So then the coach conveys to the players, and then the players will obviously rely on their more experienced players to remind them in games, hey guys, we've been through this before, let's step up. Something like that. Even though we might be defending, but we can't be so deep.
Yes.
And that's how it works. Your feedback goes down the line. Okay.
Exactly.
So then, away from the Heartbreak, and we had a chance. A few weeks later, we went to Zhejiang. Okay, again, we've spoken at length about Zhejiang's strengths and weaknesses. And for a while, right, it really looked like we really got them on their weaknesses again, right? So we scored a goal from a set piece, Dakovic, right before halftime. Oh, that's like a dream scenario. You go overseas, you play in a cold stadium full of opposition fans, and right before halftime, bam, you score a goal. You go into the halftime with a bit of a lift. And then after that, second half, even better. Song Yu-yong, as he always does on the continental stage, he whacks in one. 2-0 in the 62nd minute. Now, you've already said 2-0 is a dangerous scoreline. I feel like this might not be the last time I'm going to use this phrase, but 2-0 is a dangerous scoreline. And then Zhejiang scored 4. From an analyst, okay, from a fan point of view, I know people are gonna say. In fact, some fans said that we were too defensive. At 2-0, maybe we just invited all the pressure for half an hour, and then what do you expect? That's the fan view, not my view, but some fans' view. That you invite pressure for 30 minutes. What else do you expect? But from an analyst point of view, can you try and talk us through that game? Was the preparation a bit different given this was an away game and it was not at Jalan Besar?
Well, I won't say the preparation was different, but conditions were different. Certainly, was very cold. I think winter
cold
in Hangzhou. Very nice city, very beautiful city, but very cold. And personally, I was concerned whether we are adapted to the conditions, but we went there
We did well.
We went there pretty early, and we did train there and all that. And we have players that have played in these conditions many times before. So I don't think it's a reason or anything. But even so, like you mentioned, we scored before halftime. We had a 2-0 lead. So all these things are good things. You mentioned from an analysis perspective, what can we look at? So I would like to broaden the conversation a bit, and because we now know that we lost these two games, even though we had a 2-0 lead, and I think the club put up a very good video before the Champions League 2 final where they interviewed Bailey and Haris, and they talk about the campaign just like we are doing today
right now.
I think that was very good, and for me, I felt like as a club, we were growing. And these were like birth pains, we are growing from these setbacks, these obstacles, and it hurt. It really hurt all of us, especially the fans, I'm sure, to give away this lead. But can you imagine the players and the staff?
I can imagine it must be triply worse.
Doubly or triply worse because we started the campaign so strong, right? We felt like, okay, this already happened, how can we grow from it? Can we be objective instead of emotional about it? Can we look at how we concede these goals and what are things that we can work on to try to change the campaign around and try to not repeat these mistakes or these things again in the next game?
So what were some of these conclusions or any learning lessons? If you could share one, I mean, if you can't share, it's fine. But any learning lessons from this game?
I would say it sounds really basic, but when you have a lead, it's good. But then the game is not over. You still need to continue playing the game. And for me, from an analysis point of view, there's only one ball when you play football. I think was Pep or somebody said it. If you have the ball, the opponent cannot score.
Yes.
So what some teams do, they kill the game with possession.
Tampines, they try to do that.
Yeah, they try to do that. I don't know. Yeah, but yeah, some teams do, and I think that's something we is a solution, is a option. Try to keep the ball. Try to keep the ball. Try to pass it around. Keep the ball, because every time you lose the ball, you let the opponent have another chance to go at your goal.
And you put yourself under pressure.
And as you know, even in Sunday League football, it's so tiring to defend throughout 90 minutes. I don't think anybody plays football just to defend. We all want the ball, to play with the ball, to attack, to score.
So that lesson was learned, and then obviously now the very dramatic game, right? Against Port. Again, same opponents. You've already picked out that Horny is Isaac Horny is a player who likes to jump out of defense, right? But now obviously they've had one game against us already. They're already aware of some of our threats. They know that Shabao is a very dangerous player. How does that change your analysis of the second game? Even before we talk about what happened on the pitch, but coming into the game, is there a difference? Do you all almost expect that Shabao will be heavily marked this game?
Well, no, I won't say that we expect like much changes from Port. From our experience, the many teams they just play their game because they are confident in their game, and they don't change so much. It's same like us. We just play our game, but we did know that this is a very important game, and we gave everything to push over and qualify. I think we did the same analysis as we always did. I think everybody was very switched on for this game. Right from the first minute, we had a long throw, which Song scored for. I mean, Song was literally on fire with a hat trick and a bicycle kick. I think I cannot stop watching that bicycle kick.
I think that goal is definitely like my favorite LCS goal.
Yes.
Like ever, because of the importance, and also because, even the skill leading up to the assist is quite insane. From Maxim, he rolled the ball, he killed Asnawi.
Asnawi, right?
Yeah, Asnawi is Singapore's favorite Indonesian man. He rolled it to his right foot, and people usually think Maxim's not going to take it on his right foot, but he did. He crossed it, and then Song did what Song did. But of course, in that game again, the 2-goal lead was given up at first, and that caused a bit of like concern in the stands, right?
I could feel the palpable tension in the Jalan Besar.
You could feel the tension, right? Right. So it was very, very good that Song only took 15 minutes to score. He scored 15 minutes after Port's equalizer. Because I think if it was another 30 minutes, I think the fans would have gone mad. mad with worry. Yeah. So, you're an analyst, you work for the club, but when Song's goal went in, what do you feel?
Well, I think that was the most emotional game of my life. Like, I think it was the first time I shed tears at a game, because as we talked about in the previous games, we went through a lot of hardship and heartbreak, and we suffered. Having said that, I think suffering, I don't want to come across as like or what, but I think suffering is part of the game, right? I think if you look at Pep's interviews, he also talked about you have to suffer if you want to win, to want to achieve something. When Pep loses a game, he likes to sit in the failure and reflect a lot on why it happened. So I think we really grew a lot from the past few games, the hardship that we went through, and you could see that the whole club as a whole wanted this very much. And for me, it was as if Song had enough. It's like, I'm gonna take this game by the scruff of my neck, and I'm gonna do it, and gonna push the club over the line. And boy, he did. So I'm very, very proud of what we achieved in the group stage together. I think from an analysis point of view, there's nothing much I can add from this game. Okay. But the long throw was really good from Lionel. Long throw. Yeah.
Does Lionel work on that a lot? Yes.
Yes, we do. Certainly, like I said, we try to use every weapon in our arsenal. And we talk about long throw, it's like almost like a corner, right? Yes. Like you put a ball into the box.
Except that no one can be offside.
Yes. Yeah. Very good point. Like no one is offside from a long throw. Yeah. And I think even from like goal kick, like it's not considered offside. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I need to check on that. I believe so, but long from throw in is not offside, and I think we'll see a lot more of that in the knockout stage.
Okay. Yeah, so this game very emotional, and Song obviously did what Song did, man of the moment. Again, not asking you as an analyst, but from your interactions with Song, do you think there's something special in his mind that sets him apart? I think obviously technical ability, some people in the past, especially in Home United, he was, I wouldn't say one of the top in terms of technical ability. You had players like Shahril Ishak, you had players like Isdin Shafiq, all that. But I could always sense that there's something a bit special about this guy. He really will run until he cannot run anymore. Is that a view you share about Song?
Well, for me, I think Song is someone that fights a lot. He's a great character for the team, and we did see that throughout the campaign. He really fought a lot for the club. He gave everything. Even in the final, he was running. He was playing right back.
Right back. Oh,
he
crap.
gives everything for the team. Since Home United times. I mean, what more can we ask for him? And perhaps I would say he has a lot of hunger. I think all our players have that hunger, but he has really a lot of that, and he had to sacrifice a lot, and for football, right? For football career, and I think that is really shows in his game. Yeah.
Alright, so I think this is the right time to take a short break because we've just talked about the 5-2 win that qualified us for the knockout stages. There's great emotion at the final whistle, and when we come back, we're going to talk about the knockout stages.
Yeah.
Alright, thank you. Alright, we still have Nigel with me. Welcome back from the break. So now, from the group stages, we qualified, really, really emotional qualification and also top of the group. I mean, who would have thought that, right? Top of the group, and I think highest goal scorers. Almost highest goal scorers in the whole tournament. No one would have anticipated that lah. So in February we came out against Muangthong twice in the space of 2 weeks. 2 weeks, yeah. What did you highlight in your preparation to the team? Because this is our second Thai opposition of the year, or maybe third. I think by then we already played Buriram. So our third Thai opposition of the season. What did you feel you had to highlight to the team about Muangthong?
Well, we felt Muangthong was an interesting team. For one, I think the most important thing I'll point out is they defend man to man. So what does it mean? Defend man to man, basically you follow your man, you mark your man, and you don't let your man go. Yeah. Typically teams defend zonally. They defend the space.
Yeah.
So this may be a difficult concept for new viewers to grasp. But so for example, when you defend the space, the half space, if it's that is your instruction to defend, you stick to your half space.
Yeah.
If your space is in the middle to defend, you just cover this space. For example, like a defensive midfielder. That's zonal. That's a bit more like zonal defensive style. If you are left back, you cover this side.
Yes.
But for man to man, if your man is going to go to the
corner flag
inside,
yeah,
you're going to go to the toilet, you're going to go to the corner flag, you're going to follow him all the way there. Well, this was, I'm exaggerating, but this was what we noticed from Muangthong. So maybe I can show you something.
Sure. Yes.
So where do we have it? Yeah. So this is a Thai League game you are watching right now.
Yes.
So Muangthong versus I don't know who, but you can see here, this guy is following his man all the way out of the picture. And that creates a lot of space for someone to come in to exploit. Look at this big space. That's on a big 11-a-side field, that's a lot of space, by the way. What Muangthong do, they just follow their man. Okay, maybe one more clip to be clearer. You look at this player, number 14. He's following the number 7 everywhere on the pitch. And then this creates space. Again, look at that space in the middle of the park.
Yeah.
So this is what we analyze from Muangthong. And right here, this was the Jalan Besar game. I think we can just go straight to the video. You can see that they are very man-oriented. This guy is following Haris. This guy is following Bat. And we have Rui Perez free in the middle. This guy is following Leonard. This guy, typically, you can see, wow, he's playing Diogo onside. Yeah. And I think you all saw that there was one goal where everybody thought it was offside.
Everyone thought Shawa was offside when Haris played the ball over.
Exactly. Yeah. From the top of the stadium, I could tell my colleagues on the bench that it was 100% not offside because this guy was playing everybody onside. So That's the issue when you follow your man. You are too focused on your man, and then you leave a lot of space for the opponent to exploit.
Yeah.
So you see here, it creates a space for Rui. Rui gets the ball. That guy jumps on Rui. Leonard is free. Leonard gets the ball. But is completely free. Diogo runs. And when Diogo runs,
Tristan Doe followed him.
this guy is just following him.
Yeah.
But is completely free again. Can you imagine you are Muangthong? You're running like everywhere all over
It's
the
like
place.
circles. You're being led around.
Yeah, and then we have the space. Even in a throw-in, they are following our man very tightly, and we have a big space here. What a goal, man. What a celebration. I think he ran straight to Chin
He
Heng.
ran straight to Chin Heng, yes.
After
Chin
that,
Heng's face. I'm getting sick of seeing Chin Heng's face on the replay because
yeah.
every time I watch the goal, I will see Chin Heng there also.
Yeah,
It's quite funny, yeah, and I wasn't
really,
there.
I really
Yeah.
enjoyed that goal. I really enjoyed.
No, it's so interesting. So maybe as an analyst, you can tell us, right? In case some of the listeners don't really grasp the differences. So man-oriented defense, right, has these drawbacks, lah.
Yeah.
But what are some of the pros or the benefits of man-oriented defense? Would I be wrong to say that you can play that if all your players are very fit, fast, and good at duels?
Yeah, I think theoretically on paper it sounds like a good strategy. 11 versus 11, everybody just take your man.
Yes.
But as we all know, people do make mistakes. Somebody may lose focus and concentration as the game goes by. Maybe it's very hot on Jalan Besar, it's too humid and they switched off, and then you let somebody like Bart, Shawa or Maxim get past you, and that's it. You just need one moment of switched off from man to man, and the opponent will take advantage. So I think that's why you don't really see this man-to-man, man-oriented strategy at top level of football. Yeah.
Okay. So another thing about the Muangthong tie obviously is that in the first leg we were comfortably up 3-0 and then we had a red card, right? Can you give us a bit of insight as to how a team prepares to play 10-man football? I'm sure Coach Renko has prepared his team. Sometimes, unfortunate you can get a red card. How does a club prepare for a 10-man match?
Well, it's very tricky. Well, we go back to the Persib game, we had an extra man. Yes. When they had a red card. Now they have the extra man.
Yes.
When we are 3-0 up.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's very tricky. We had a very good lead very early in the game. At halftime, we were I won't say very, but we could be satisfied with ourselves.
Yeah.
We are in a good position. Of course, the tie is not over, but we have shown a good account of ourselves in the first half away from home, which I think prior to this campaign, we are quite wary. They did mention about the away games.
Fans were always worried about away games.
Yeah, so to perform so well away is a remarkable achievement that we are very proud of.
Yes.
Having said that, once again, you have a lead. You want to defend the lead. And when you lose a man for almost one half, you have to defend for
your lives.
Quite a while, right? So, but that's what happened in football. You can prepare, but you never know what's going to happen. So we did give everything to defend. I think at one point Ali Elrina, he came on, and we had almost like a 6-man back line defending. I mean, that's what you have to do. What you have to do, if you need an extra man, you have to defend. And Muangthong, they are a very aggressive team. They were putting a line of 6 in the final third against our back 5. So the opponent is pushing for the equalizer. They have it was 3-1 and they're pushing, and I was very anxious up there in the stadium, but we have to do what we have to do. If they have a line of 6, maybe we need a line of 6 as well and a back line to defend. Even though we conceded a goal very late, but we managed to scrap through and
get a win, which is very, very important. Now, second leg, right, in the end, a 4-0 win. Looks like a comfortable scoreline, right? But again, first minute, Shawa won a penalty. And this is something we saw throughout the campaign. The ball goes back, the ball goes back to the keeper right from kickoff. Izwan launches one, and Bailey, not in the defensive line, Bailey is up there challenging for the ball. And all the players around Bailey are looking forward to the second ball. Now, is this something that obviously we prepared? I'm sure this doesn't happen accidentally. So what was the thought behind this? Is it just because you know that Bailey is very strong in duels? and Izwan can deliver well?
Well, let me see if I have the clip. I think it's always very good to watch. Well, I don't have that clip, but what I have is this one. I think it's very similar.
Similar, yeah.
Right from kickoff, like you mentioned, the ball goes back to goalkeeper. And let me pause right there. I don't think this is like anything top secret.
Yeah.
If you watch Premier League, which everybody does, this happens a lot in Premier League as well.
Arsenal does this as well.
Yeah, even PSG. PSG have something unique where the goalkeeper kicks the ball directly out. And,
yes.
Yeah, and why is that so? It's because then the opponent has to take a throw in, and teams don't typically do very well from throw in. They tend to lose the ball, and PSG want to press the opponent right from the start.
Oh, that's interesting. So it might be a stats-based approach as well.
Yes, they have certainly done their analysis. They want to press the opponent in their own half, because when you win the ball in the opponent's half, you're very near to the goal.
You know, I just assumed that it's because Donnarumma is a shit kicker, but I'm guessing that now you're telling me there's some stats behind it. Okay,
Yes.
great. Now it's good to know. Thank you, and sorry for Gianluigi Donnarumma.
Yeah, I'm sure the Champions League winning team, they do some analysis.
Yeah.
But anyway, we know our goalkeepers have good distribution.
Yes.
Balls goes to Bailey, or in this case, Shawa.
Yeah, they don't defend it well.
We win the second ball.
Yeah.
So it's okay if, let's say, we don't win the first ball,
Yeah.
right? But you want to win the second ball.
Yeah.
Balls goes out to Maxime.
And then goal.
He crossed and it was a goal. I mean, if you look at where my laptop is, I think I wasn't really ready for the start of the game to happen like that. I think I was blocking the camera a bit. So, but I mean, I cannot complain. So kickoff. I think you asked like whether we prepare for things like that.
Yeah, well, do you prepare? I mean, Brentford had a spell in the English league where 3 matches in a row they scored in the first or second minute, right?
Yes.
So, is that something that teams prepare for? Yes.
Yeah, maybe we were inspired by that, but you gotta ask Thomas Frank at Tottenham for that. Yeah, but no, I mean like I said, we prepare to use every tool in our arsenal. Set pieces, as I mentioned, like a lot of goals are scored from set pieces nowadays. And when people think of set piece, you play FIFA, right? You think corner, you think free kick.
Yes.
But what are set pieces? Set pieces, okay, to speak literally, you put the ball, you set it on the ground and you kick. It can be a goal kick, it can be a kickoff, it can be a throw in. Drop ball, as we saw
With Tampines, with a drop ball, yes.
Tampines, well, that's a set piece as well. So it happens throughout the game. For example, throw-ins. It happens most. It's the set piece that happens the most throughout a game.
Correct.
Are you prepared to keep the ball after you throw in? Because a lot of teams lose the ball. In the opponent throw in, are you prepared to defend? If on a transition, you have to be prepared for every scenario. And if you find out that you can score from a kickoff the first minute of the game, would you take advantage of that?
Of course I would.
Of course. So
Yes.
we try to take advantage of that. I think in one game we had a kickoff, we didn't score, but we had a long throw in. And
Yes.
from that instance we scored a goal, I think against Port or Persib.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
Persib, yes. So
Yeah.
it's one of those where I think you set the tone very early, and then the opponents start panicking as well when the
Correct.
ball is not cleared properly.
Correct. Let me just touch very quickly on that point. I like that you mentioned that you set the tone very early by putting the ball in the opponent's box or
Yes.
final third. So, okay, usually kickoff. Let's talk about the past. This is the present. Like usually you kick the ball back last time, right?
Yeah.
You kick the ball back, and then you start playing your game from your own half.
Yes.
And then the opponent, what happens is they will come into your own half and start pressing
you, yes.
Yeah, but that's from kickoff. Usually from kickoff, what's the reason why teams do this, or like this new approach of kicking the ball long? Because you don't want the opponents to come into your half and start pressuring you from kickoff.
Yeah.
You know, and then what if you lose the ball and then you got to start defending? From the first minute you are defending already. You don't
Yes.
want to start the game that way. You want to start the game by being in the opponent's half, putting pressure on them,
Yes.
and that's a more effective approach. Yeah.
Oh, that's very interesting. So, any other insight that you have from the 4-0 win against Muangthong? I think Shawa again was the star. If I'm not wrong, he had like 2 goals, 2 assists or something like that. Yeah, considering he won the penalty as well. So yeah.
Yeah, I think Shawa was
Yes,
on
2
fire.
goals, 2 assists actually, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, Sharjah was really on fire in that game. Let me see. I believe I have some like good clips there. Like I said, okay, for example, here we have another poor rest defense from Muangthong. This goal is so similar to the Persib goal. You have defenders like the left back Ali Sissoko. I know you played for Liverpool before, but if you go so high up,
You
to
have to
press
win.
Maxim.
You have to win the ball off the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If not, you give players like Sharjah and Bud so much space. I don't think you can really catch Sharjah from that.
You
know?
can't. And
Yeah.
Sharjah had the presence of mind to square it also.
Yeah, and
Rather
even-
than shoot.
correct. So
Yeah.
I think that really worked out for us, because they defend man to man. There's a lot of space, and with good players like Sharjah,
Yes.
they will exploit that.
Okay, then comes the biggest test of our campaign, obviously, against Sanfrecce Hiroshima. I'll be very honest. Me and all my friends, we just said like, okay, we've enjoyed a great run. This is the match where it ends. But of course, you guys are number one, paid employees of the club, and number two, also fans of the club. So you guys will give every effort to give yourselves every shot at it, right? What would you say are some of the things that you picked out about Sanfrecce that perhaps you feel that we could get at them?
Okay, for me, I've think a lot about this campaign, about all the opponents we have faced,
Yes.
even in past seasons like Jeongbuk, like Kichi, all these big teams.
Correct.
And they always want to dominate the ball. They want to play football in the opponent half.
Correct.
That's like Man City, that's like Barcelona, that's like PSG. And for me, if you know that, you have to be very pragmatic. Okay, maybe you think that you can have the ball as well, as some teams thought previously when they went on ACL campaigns. They can play their game. Yes, that is very commendable, but realistically, you're not going to have a lot of the ball.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to be more pragmatic. I really agree with that approach. Be more pragmatic, be more compact. Because if you play every game like so open, you're gonna get smashed. We try to be very compact against these top teams. Like honestly, I think Sanfrecce Hiroshima personally is the best team I've ever witnessed in my 4 years
Yes,
at that
they
club.
were so good.
They were
Yeah.
frighteningly good. We almost all Japanese lineup until the second half. But so essentially we try to play on a transition. Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, interestingly, what's lost in all the drama and the controversy surrounding the game is that actually in the first half, right, where of course Sanfrecce dominated, but the score was only 2-1. We scored a brilliant goal. So
Yes.
the goal itself, right, is there anything that you felt our team did particularly well? I mean, it's obvious that we had the pace and all, but is there anything more that you can tell us about this goal?
Yes, I'm glad you asked. Look at this beautiful site. I think it was a beautiful stadium with
Beautiful
all the
fans.
The fans. How often you see like so many fans?
The last time we saw something like that was Jeongbuk, I think.
Was-
Jeongbuk also, the
Yes.
Mac Green boys are very, very loud and prominent.
Yes, I agree. But yeah, you can see this is a corner situation which we scored the goal from. Like we mentioned briefly just now, Hiroshima has this tactic similar to Arsenal. They put a lot of guys behind.
Yes.
And I'm going to talk about what you asked for, but the reason why they do this is because if you are one of our players, it's very hard to look at your opponent.
You don't know who to mark.
Correct. And at the same time, look at the ball. You look at the ball, you look at the opponent. You cannot do two things at one time.
So there's always this thing where you're supposed to do a triangle, right? But I'm guessing it's difficult when you don't even know who is your opponent. So some of the times.
Yes, it's so difficult to mark. So we try our best, but even before they kick, you can see the whole Hiroshima team
It's
is
essentially there.
in this small part of the field.
Yeah.
And that's how, if you are a top team, that's how you want to play. If you lose the ball here, you are able to counter press to win the ball right immediately, so that you can continue attacking the opponent.
Yes.
You win the ball very close to their goal, you can take a long shot. You keep putting them under pressure,
Yep.
and it's relentless, as you guys saw. But okay, in this instance, we won the ball.
Yes.
We got the ball. You have a 2v2 situation now. Sharjah against one player and Bud against one player.
Maxim, right? Maxim.
Maxim and
Yeah.
or something. So in the football, you try to create such situations for your best players. Maxim against anybody in the world, I think I will fancy his chances. But as well, Shawa in a sprint, I think I fancy his chances. If it's like 2 against 1 versus Shawa, okay, it's very difficult for Shawa. But in 2v2, 1v1, I think they can do something. So they got past the
So
player.
Max takes a brilliant touch. He gets past the guy who commits thinking that he could win the ball.
Yes. And now we have a break, right? They have to run back, I don't know, 80 meters back into their own goal. We have Bud, we have Shawa, and we know we are very strong on transition, you know? And we can take advantage of this. And wow, what a touch from Shawa right there. I think...
This angle makes it even sicker, right? This goal, because you can see the whole pitch.
Exactly.
This angle really shows you actually how much Hiroshima had to sprint, how much we had to sprint.
Yeah.
It's really quite amazing.
Yeah, I think if I see here in, I don't know, in 10 seconds or less, we were in their goal. And we scored. I think this was
amazing, actually.
One of the best
transition
goals.
And then the calmness from Shawal to just 2 touches. One from the left to check inside, and then the second to curl it past the goalie with minimal power. He didn't whack it.
Yes.
He is so composed.
It's so composed. Like, beautiful to watch, and I think my hands were freezing cold at the top. I couldn't really touch my laptop, but I was still trying to scream and cheer. And all the Japanese media was just looking at who's this guy, like
1-1. It was 1-1.
But it was 1-1.
It was a very, 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 I think, iconic moment for Shawa Anwar. And I think, Shawa Anwar throughout this whole campaign, right? I mean, we can talk about analysis, we can talk about plans, but as you said, it's about putting your best players in the situations where they can capitalize.
Correct.
And I think this was an exceptional moment to illustrate that, because you have your best 3 attackers really going in and scoring this kind of goal.
Exactly.
It's really amazing to watch.
Eddie, you hit the nail on the head. It's like that's what analysis is about, to set up situations like that.
Yeah, it's not like 100% it'll definitely happen, but you have to make as many times this kind of situation happen, correct?
Correct.
Now, obviously, all the controversy off the pitch then happened, right? Now, second leg, right? If I could ask about your own head state, right? What changes the preparation, given that at first it was supposed to be a loss, but then now you come into the second leg with a win to protect, right? Your analysis actually remains the same, right? It's just what the coach does with your information. Correct?
Yeah, my analysis, we prepare for every game the same.
Yes.
Like the strengths and the weaknesses of the opponent. What do we have to be wary of? What can we take advantage of? Clearly from the first leg we saw we can even beat a J1 team on the transition.
Yep.
So that is still going to be a big opportunity for us. And certainly we did take advantage of that. We scored the first goal against Hiroshima. I think that's a
amazing goal.
A huge landmark achievement to even lead against J1 side.
Yes.
Yeah, you can say it was Jalan Besar and all, but I don't think, take nothing away from us. It was a great goal. Again, we have the Shawa show. This time he has his partner in crime, Leonard T. I think it's always easier to just watch on the video. So again, you're looking at a set piece. Set piece are a big part of the game. Just now we score from a corner, and defending a corner, not even attacking a corner. And
Correct.
now this is a goal kick, and you can see you have a big pitch, a big football pitch, but everybody is on one side of the field.
Correct.
Why is that so? Imagine if you put all your players spread out across the pitch, and I kick a long ball. You think you're gonna win that ball?
Even if you do, who's around to pick up the...
Exactly.
Even if I win the knockdown, I mean, who's gonna pick up the pieces, right?
Exactly. It's same like look at the fans. They are all standing together, and they're gonna cheer. It's gonna sound loud. But imagine if they were seated like all across the stadium.
Yeah.
It's very hard to hear the fans. So it's the same analogy. Try to be close when there is a long ball.
Yeah.
If you can win the first ball, great. But doesn't mean anything. Can you win the second ball? So
Leonard flicks it on.
Yes.
And here's the part that I found very impressive. Not just Shawal's dexterity to, his sepak takraw touches, chest it and then flick it on. But once Leonard wins the ball, he just landed only, he starts running already.
Exactly.
Immediately.
Yeah, that was like very impressive to watch. He just kept running and just continues his run.
Amazing goal.
Amazing. In 5 seconds was a goal.
Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, it was from a goal kick.
It was from a goal kick.
In my head, I kind of forgot. I thought it was like a long ball from defense, but it was a goal kick. It was a set piece.
Yeah, it looks seemingly innocuous, like we score from a goal kick, but I can tell you we work on all these things in the training ground, and very happy. It gives us so much satisfaction when it works out on the field.
Wow, that really was an amazing goal lah. So in this case, right, I'll bring you back to what I said in that we came into this game with a 3-0 lead, right? As an analyst, right, does coach sometimes say, okay, can you go and analyze, right, when Sanfrecce is behind by 2-3 goals in games, what do? Who are the people they sacrifice, they substitute? Who are the people they push up into attack? Like, does the right back take up a more, offensive position? Does the left back go up all the way? Are these things that analysts look out for also?
Certainly, that's a very good point that you pointed out. So I may share that Sanfrecce Hiroshima, the formation they play is 3-4-3, like Ruben Amorim, but I mean United doesn't do it very well. So
sorry, Jining, he has to week after week, right, we record podcasts, right? Someone takes a drive at Manchester United, and it's brilliant, man. Like, we should just keep doing that.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
they play 3-4-3, and so which means they play with a back three, right?
Yes.
So, but now as you rightly pointed out, they have to go for the goals. They have to go for the win. They have to score at least 3 goals. Yeah. So do they really still need a back three? Actually, no. They can push one more into midfield, and so they have more guys closer to our box, and they can have more players attacking.
Oh, so that's very interesting. You're saying that 3-4-3, but in the game, did you see that happening? They became like a 2-5-3 almost.
Yeah, so you have a 3-4-3. I think in future I will bring a tactical board so it's easier to see. But if the opponent is defending in a very low block, right? For example, like when we play against Tanjong Pagar, sometimes they defend very low, right?
Yes.
Then maybe they just put Cisse up front against Bailey, against Tony, against Lionel.
Yeah.
Then maybe you can have just 2v1 because Bailey and Tony or Lionel they are more than enough to defend against one striker.
Correct.
Then you can push one guy into your midfield, so you have more control if your strikers lose the ball. You can be closer to counter press, and you can have an extra man, and you can make it harder for the opponent to defend. Correct.
Throughout the season, I think Tony Dekovic, actually, we noticed he sends quite a lot of balls in from the left wing. And I guess that's because he has given license to join the attack when opponents are really sitting back.
Yes.
So in this game, okay, all's well and good. We managed to qualify for the semi-finals against Sydney. Now, obviously, Sydney, right, was a team that, if you ask me on paper, I didn't feel they were super impressive. You might beg to differ, but honestly, right, you know what I felt was super impressive? They went to Jeonbuk. They went to Korea, not Jeonbuk Stadium, but they went to Korea and they got a 2-0 win, where they absolutely looked brilliant against Jeonbuk. Jeonbuk didn't create much against them. Yes. Now, so that was the only thing I was really worried about. What are some of the things that you picked out about Sydney FC heading into the game?
Yes, Sydney FC, wow, what a team of individual talent.
Segacic, Douglas Costa.
It's funny that the first name now on when we think of Sydney is Adam Segacic, who provided the assist against United.
Yes.
Yeah, what a beautiful assist.
Are we back to shitting on Man United again?
No.
For Mong Luin, right? Mong Luin. Yes,
love
the guy
name.
who said that the referee was shit, but yeah. Okay.
But yes, Segacic, wow. I mean, I mentioned his name because, and I think you mentioned his name because what a player.
What a player
For 18 or 19 years old. I don't know how old is he.
I think he's going to have a big future, man. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm sure, do hope he fulfills his potential. But I think before the game, I think I even posted on Instagram, it was not about Segacic, it was about the Costa show. About the Douglas versus Diogo Costa show. I was like, I was so excited to see Douglas Costa. You know, this guy has played Champions League.
I'm sure Diogo was very excited as well to be coming up face to face against that kind of caliber. I mean, that's what we want to play Champions League for, right? I mean, as fans, we want to see, but I'm sure as players, I'm sure Lionel wants to go up against players like Douglas Costa. I'm sure Diogo also wants to go up. So, how do you help the team prepare for this kind of game?
Yeah, that's a great point. Let me pull up just one video, and you will see what we analyzed about Sydney very quickly.
Sydney versus Wellington Phoenix, and
Yes.
what did you find about this? What are you gonna explain to us?
Yeah, so as you can see in the video, we have Sydney in the dark kit.
Yes.
And then they are playing a 4-2-3-1. Can see the ball goes to the side. And this happens a lot with Sydney. Very quickly, you will see they try to create an overload on the side. They try to create a 3v2, try to create a 4v3 overload.
Yes.
So what the overloads mean? Basically, they have you on a merry-go-round on one side of the pitch, on the left side or the right side. So you can see all the players, they try to go towards that side. And they try to attract Wellington or whoever they are playing against to go to that side of the pitch.
Yes.
And then they will have Douglas Costa or Sagashik or Joe Lawley over here to create a 1v1 situation. So here they
Again, the merry-go-round is just saying is
They are
3 or
playing-
4 people circulating the ball.
Correct. They play a rondo with you, they play a merry-go-round with you, and you become so hyper-focused on the ball, like, I got to follow this man, I got to mark this man. And what's going to happen is somebody is going to make a run. Look at this.
Oh wow.
Joe Lawley or whoever this is drops.
The third man
Third
run.
man, I think this is Sagashik. Number 7, Sagashik, and he scores. Bam. Very quickly, you get sucked into this merry-go-round. You become so focused on the opponent, and you don't see somebody is running off your shoulder. And essentially, this is what Sydney tried to do for every game. Even against Jeongbuk, where Douglas Costa did the no-look pass.
Yes.
I'm sure you saw. And
Yeah.
that's what they do every game. So for us, we this is what we know, that this is their characteristic, and we try to prepare against them. So be ready for the third man runs, we told our players. Don't be so hyper focused on the ball. If they play the ball on the side, it's okay, because they are not going to score right from here.
So when they hold it in non-threatening areas, keep checking where your man is,
Yes,
because that's coming next already.
correct. You be ready for the third man runs, and don't get too sucked in on what's happening. If they want to play a merry-go-round here, okay,
Let them.
let them play, because they're not going to score directly from here. They have
Yes.
to bring the ball here. So that's how we prepared against Sydney defensive aspect.
Wow, that's very interesting. So offensively, I remember LCS2 Sydney 0, right, was a game where actually both sides had very few chances,
Yes.
right? So offensively, right, what were some things that we prepared for against Sydney? I mean, the first goal was a long shot, lah. It's a fantastic long shot from Ramzala, right? Is
I'm
that
glad.
is that something that is beyond analysis already? It's just about talents of players. I mean, getting him to that shooting position. I'm sure
Yes.
that's quite important as well.
Great. I mean, Eddie, you are fast becoming an analyst, and I got to be careful for my job. But yeah, like you said, you try to get your players into that position. If you know they have that quality to do some magic, some long shot, 1v1 quality, then let them showcase their flair in the game. So we're going to show you that goal you mentioned, Bart's long shot. So
Yep.
this is against Sydney versus Melbourne City.
Okay.
Yeah, Sydney now is in blue because they are home, and Melbourne is in the
Dark kit.
And
Yeah.
you see Melbourne play these long diagonal balls behind Sydney's left back.
Yes.
And what we saw basically is Sydney struggle to defend against this type of balls.
Okay.
You see Melbourne almost scored there.
Yeah.
So we know that this is something that we can use in our game. We go to the training ground, we work on it, and then we do it during the game. We show these videos to the players on match day before the game
Yeah.
to remind them what we practice.
How you can hurt them.
During the game, we have Song putting this tremendous
Left foot.
weaker foot ball
Yeah.
behind the fullback, and in one pass you are in the final third, which is where you want to play your football, which is where you want people like Bart on the ball. You say it's a very top beans golazo.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, seems like every game is a great goal, but it's all about trying to get them in that situation like you mentioned, so that they can do their magic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So on the second goal, I think this was one of the game where we felt like analysis really did work out for us, and it really shows you the value of analysis.
Yeah.
In this game we saw just now, But we also saw that Sydney, this is their back four, but they can't really defend these deep runs, what we call deep runs. That means you start from maybe in front of the defense, and then you make a run behind to a through ball.
Wow, this is almost exactly like the
Correct.
Leonard T goal.
Exactly. This is before the game,
Yeah.
and this is the Leonard T goal.
Yeah, Costa shouting for the ball.
Costa shouting for the ball in one pass.
Deep run.
Deep runs again between the defenders.
I mean, obviously the execution is sick also lah.
Yes.
Right?
But we know that our players have such quality to execute it at a high level. So we believe in our players to do it, and they can do it time and time again. And we did it, and
Yes.
it was great.
So your analysis would be very different if you were an analyst for a much weaker team lah. I mean, you can still pick out the problems, but the solutions might be different, Eddie. Because
Yes.
if you keep launching these kind of hopeless balls also, or the players just can't do it, then it's different analysis lah.
Yeah. That's certainly you need to work with what you
Your
have.
strengths lah.
Yes.
Okay, so then we've gained ourselves a good cushion against Sydney. Second leg, I guess, more of the same. Just that obviously, there's a need to protect what you have also. And I thought that our boys did very well. I was actually surprised. I thought that it would be a barrage from minute 1. But actually our boys defended really, really well. And I think 85th minute is when they scored. But before that, I didn't feel really at danger. And as the minutes wore on, actually, I even thought we were just going to finish this 0-0. So was that something that you credit more, that you have to give a lot of credit to the players for?
Certainly, I felt like their experience really came through and shown like how much we have grown throughout the tournament. They were again, we have a 2-0 lead
Yeah.
on aggregate, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know how many 2-0 lead we have already, but this time we show that we really matured a lot as a club, and we are very capable of defending the lead, and we even try to keep the ball.
We could even have scored a few
And we
times.
could even have scored, I think, at least 5 times. And I'm not exaggerating, because up there in the box, I was quite frustrated because we didn't take advantage. But it happens, it happens. And
End of the day, the results all that matters lah. So
100%. Yeah.
Okay, so then now, magical, right? Magical. Did you ever think at the start of the campaign we would make the final? No way.
No.
No
I
way,
think you
right?
talk to many people at the club and they will say the same. But of course, like, we believe we can, go far in the tournament. But no.
Okay, so now that you qualified for the final, right? What was all this stuff that you've told me about, right? Like starting off strong from the goal kicks, every goal kick, every throw in, every corner is a set piece that you should look to utilize and all that. Now you prepare for the final against Sharjah. Obviously, good team playing in a good league. The UAE league, I think, without question, is stronger league than SPL
Yes.
by a few times. So, what were some of the things that we looked out for in Sharjah before the match happened?
Well, we certainly look at. Actually, we analyze every opponent the same. What their strengths, what their weaknesses, and for me, I felt it was very similar playing style as Sydney, where they try to take you on a merry-go-round. I like to say that on the side of the pitch, and then there is somebody making a third man run, and then they score a goal against their opponents.
Okay, so going into the Sharjah game, right? What was something you picked out for the coaching team?
Yeah, so 2 things I think I felt I needed to shout out is the transitions. We are very at Lion City, we are very strong in transitions, but I think right now we found a team that is also very strong in transitions as well.
Yeah.
Hiroshima is also very strong, and you can see this is something we found.
Wow.
They score a lot.
So 59% from transitions, 30% from set pieces, and 11% others.
Yes. So
Wow.
And what kind of transitions? If you see here
Against El Tawun.
El Tawun, right? They are in white. In one pass, in I think 2 pass, they are in your box to score a goal. So now you see they are defending against El Tawun, and look how fast they go in the numbers towards the opponent goals. As soon as they win the ball, they are very direct.
Very vertical.
Exactly.
They just go.
Very direct, very vertical, forward pass. In 2 passes, they are in the the opponent's half.
And you can see all this even though they didn't score from these chances lah.
Correct.
Right.
From throw-ins as well, I believe this is something that they work on. They throw to a big man who flicks it on. You see,
And there's 2 runners.
There's runners already. You know, I believe they really work on this, and bam, Tarab scores a goal. So this is something we had to be really careful of, and not.
I thought we neutralized that quite well, didn't we?
Yes.
I mean, I don't think they had a lot of these chances.
Correct.
In the game.
I think we did put a good account of ourselves from that aspect, which is good. If you talk about how they score their goals, I would say it's a bit similar to Sydney. You know, like now they have a lot of, you see, deep runs, as same like us.
And they keep it on one side.
They keep it on one side, you know.
Yeah.
And you see the same pattern, 3v2 on the side, and this guy goes inside, creates the space for the winger or the striker, and very quickly they are in your box. So I think this we prepared quite well for it. But you rightly pointed out that Sharjah, they were happy to sit back against us and let us have a bit of the ball. And it's very different from all the games, right? All the other games.
They probably felt that was our strength, right? Our strength was on the transition, so they wanted to counter that a bit.
Yeah, perhaps. I won't know what's in their head, but perhaps I think they were happy to sit compact. We did not see them high pressing us at all, unlike the other teams like Sydney, like Hiroshima. We put a lot of pressure on us when we build up, but Sharjah did not do that at all. And so I think they were very disciplined, very compact. I think this comes from the perhaps their coach, who's I think is very experienced.
Very experienced coach. Yeah.
Very experienced campaigner coach. So I think they definitely did analyze us as well, as much as we analyzed them.
Yeah. And in the end, I mean, the final came down to very fine margins. Is there anything that you can say from an analyst point of view about the goal that we scored? I mean, it's a moment that lifted Bishan Stadium, a moment that lifted all of Singapore football for that 1-2 seconds. It was insane. So what would you say? Was that again down to quality and mentality of the players?
Yeah, this one for me. I won't add anything analysis perspective, but we were chasing really, really hard for the goal. The whole crowd was roaring us on, and
we had Razak on.
We had Shawar on. We are throwing everything at them already, and it's good pass from Diogo. Yeah. I think Song let it run to Maxim, and Maxim put it in the net again. What a brilliant goal. And I think my wife said like she felt the stadium shake at that point of time. I was like, wow, that has never happened at Bishan Stadium.
That has never ever happened. I mean, so amazing, right? But okay, now away from the analysis point of view, right? As a human being, as someone who is obviously connected to the club, how do you look back on the whole campaign?
Oh wow, I'm so proud. I think everybody was so proud of like what we achieved in this campaign. We all honestly never felt that we will get to the final, but we got more and more excited, more confident, more ambitious as we got further into the tournament. And at the end of the day, it's like, why not believe in ourselves? Why not believe that we can win this? We have shown ourselves, the whole of Singapore and other countries, that we can play football. You know, we have a lot of locals in our team as well. Which can show that we can play our brand of football, which can achieve results. And for me personally, I feel we can have more self-confidence and self-belief that we can do good things going forward in the future seasons.
And then obviously this whole session we've been talking about analysis, right? Now if someone's at home and young kid, maybe 16, 17-year-old listening to this, watching this, what do you think, what are the steps they should take, right, to try and maybe hope to become an analyst in future or get involved in the football scene?
Yeah, that's a great point. For me, it's like today we know there's an explosion of user-generated content on social media, like Instagram, on TikTok,
Twitter.
Everybody's talking about Man United or Arsenal, whoever, and there's a lot of traction. There's so many comments and all that. For me, the easiest, fastest way is to create some content for say you watch this game, I don't know, Man United versus ASEAN All Stars, or I don't know, FIFA Club World Cup.
Yes,
yeah?
FIFA Club World Cup.
You have some thoughts about it, like Bayern Munich versus Auckland, like what's going on, like how did the 10-0 thrashing happen? You have some thoughts, take some screenshots, make a short video, put it on TikTok, put it on YouTube, and I tell you, you will be surprised what response you get. And from there, you can slowly build a portfolio. You can interact with people, and you start talking about football with fellow fans and maybe even fellow professionals. Put it on LinkedIn or whatever. And
that's how you started, right?
Exactly. Yeah. If I may share, that is actually
please share.
That's
I know
how
you started something on Tableau or something.
Yeah, that's my background. I was doing like a project when I was still working at my previous firm. And I was using Y-Scout data. I was on the trial access, and I was putting the data into Tableau, try to visualize and propose some players for the club using data, right?
One of the players you proposed went on to become an international superstar, right?
Yeah, his name happens to be Kim Min-jae.
Yes.
Yeah, so
at the time he was playing the Chinese Super League, and I think you proposed that we should sign this guy, but then guess what? Bayern Munich signed him.
Yeah, he was playing for Beijing Guoan in the Chinese Super League.
And then Napoli came, right? Napoli came.
No, he went to Fenerbahce.
Fenerbahce, then Napoli.
Yeah, and then Napoli, and then the rest is history. But it shows you the power of data. And if you are not versed in data, that's okay. Just if you are a young boy or something, you can learn. You can use ChatGPT. Nowadays, you have AI. That last time there was no AI yet. So use whatever free tools you have at your disposal, and put it online. Definitely put it online. Don't just watch football. Create some content about football and get talking about football. And I think you will have a lot of fun doing that.
And I would say also, if I could add on, and I think when you watch football, you have to be a bit intentional about it. So I think, as Nigel has pointed out, so point out repeated patterns. Don't just take a one-off goal and say this defender Maguire should have done that. It's very easy to just criticize and say, oh, why didn't Maguire cover that? But maybe look a bit deeper. Is this something that keeps happening to Man United, or is it because the opponents were just too good? If they were too good, maybe take a look at actually why they were so good.
Yes.
Are they doing this to every club? If they're doing this to every club, for example PSG, maybe look into why PSG is doing so well. And I think actually it's quite clear. Once you watch 6-7 games, it's very clear that beyond all the artistry and the silk, right, actually the PSG run a hell of a lot off the ball. It's just insane.
Yes. It's insane.
I can't even begin to describe how much running Dembele and all that do when they don't have the ball. It's really mad.
They really work for the team. So there you have it. I think great tips from Eddie. Everybody has a lot of opinions about football. So get working on your opinions, put some effort and show some videos. Yeah.
Okay, now would you say that, as you said, there's so much information out there about like Man United, Arsenal, all that. What would you say would be an advantage if someone decides that as part of their portfolio, they also want to focus on like ASEAN football, maybe Thai League, Singapore League? Maybe for all you know, even they want to go and watch SFL and like get SFL videos and do. Do you think there's some advantages of doing that?
Yes, I would say lower barriers to entry. I would say actually that is easier to start if you just don't want to be behind your computer all the time. You want to get out there and actually make some impact for your local team. Like you mentioned, SFL team. I would say even Sunday League teams, or even for your school team. Can you set up a tripod and put your iPhone 16 Pro Max on there? And
iPhone 16 Pro Max reminds me of Hongdae guy. Man.
Yeah, that's.
Do you
anybody got that?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Are you open-minded?
Yeah. But jokes aside, start recording some footage for your Sunday League team. And you can cut some footage and you start talking about what are things you all can improve in. And I think that's the fastest way you can start contributing to your local team. And I think they will really appreciate that, because typically these teams, they don't have the resources to do analysis or to record footage. And I'm sure you will get some people who are quite open-minded in that aspect. Yeah. Whereas if you do for United, Arsenal, that kind,
they're not gonna see it lah.
Yeah,
unless your analysis of a super high level.
Correct. It's very competitive. Nobody, the club is probably not going to see it, but the advantage is you're going to have eyeballs because everybody likes to look at these big clubs.
Yeah.
So weigh the pros and cons, and the fastest way is just get started. Yeah.
Just do both, man, guys. I mean, if you're watching this, just do both. Like, I can share with you also, at the lower level, right, teams are less likely to be able to find solutions. So if you point out that this right winger only does one thing, right, actually once you tell your teammates to stop that one trick, right, the guy is dead for that game, usually. Because the players are not as used to finding solutions. The coach is also not as used to finding solutions for the team on the fly. So just do it, guys. I mean, and Nigel, I'm sure if you reach out to him on LinkedIn, he will reply. He'll drop you a nice encouraging message and ask you where's to show him your portfolio.
Yeah.
If you have no portfolio, don't come and talk to him. Okay. So that's been a very very insightful chat with you, Nigel. Thanks so much for all your time. Concluding thoughts, I think you've already given. You're super proud of the team and super proud of the effort. Is there any message you have for all your colleagues?
I would like to say thank you to all my colleagues in the team for this opportunity to work with you guys. I'm super proud of what we achieved together, and I think I will continue to support the team in the stands with the crew, with Eddie, and also from afar. So I think I hope to continue to the club and to Singapore football as well. And let's see what we achieve in the next season.
No, I hope that Nigel, keeps putting out content out there to really educate the masses on this and, hopefully get more people involved, okay?
Yes.
Thanks so much for your time. Really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you. That's been Nigel. You've been so kind. Thank you.